been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. You got me haunting, haunting. And I'll be running, possessed by a long, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on the full moon. And we're stuck in a la-la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting. You got me play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, dripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Jumping around in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. To speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. Oh, so I choke you down just like a pill. You like a pill, you like a pill to get my pill. In the worst way, don't let me sleep, never say you're sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave, baby, but you know I never will. No, I choke you down just like a pill. You like a VHEL.
You and me, hanging from the willow tree, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows you away from me. Now I see we were never meant to be. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the time. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the time. Born from the same branch and leaf, wild and free, living here in harmony. Don't you see? This is where you want to be when you leave. World is never what it seems. If only we could travel back. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Oh, dancing till the dawn. Only we could travel back in time. Oh, dancing till the dawn.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Yes, that's the part you always show. You're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. It's serious. That's the part you always show. You're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We're nothing more than dust. Search for you, stay lost. We're reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. That's the part you always show. You're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. It's serious. That's the part you always show. You're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another VHEL Campo live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night, so all of you should know what that means by now. It is Fortnite duo builds, and we have a stacked roster tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Our primary team, the team we'll be watching the most, is Famous People, and that team is composed up of Miko and Zarek. Unfortunately, Zarek not here tonight, so we will just have to watch Miko's perspective as we are watching that team. Our secondary team, the team we'll be watching quite a bit, popping in here and there, seeing how they're doing, is the GOATs. That team is composed up of Brady, aka BL Mace, and Parker, aka VHCH06. We expect great things from that team. I'm very excited to watch that team play. And our third and final team here is pun intended. That team is composed up of Gavin, aka Novel Movie, and Sean, aka Sean Time TV. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have action though. So let's switch on over and tune in to Fortnite Division 1 Fortnite builds. I said Fortnite twice. All right, again, starting with Miko here, who is unfortunately gonna have to drop by himself. And from what I've heard, not confirm nor deny, but from things that I've heard through the grapevine, there's some new stuff as the South Park update has officially happened. So, some new items, some new weapons, some new POIs that, of course, we will have to keep an eye out for. Obviously, I do not know everything, as this is my first time watching and or playing the game since the update has come out. So, we will learn together as a unit. You guys know that's what we do best here. We learn together. But Miko, gonna have to play this very particularly. Obviously, his teammate Zarek not here with him tonight, so someone that might have to play a little safer, might have to play a little bit of a slower game. Obviously, we will have to keep an eye out for how Miko is going to play this, because essentially every single fight he's going to go in with a disadvantage, but at this point, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes in these drops for every single division. Sometimes it's just the way that it goes, so even athletes have lives. And I think the important part for Miko here is just really going to be how slow and or aggressive he plays this. Obviously, if he plays a much slower, a much safer game, he's got much higher odds to do better. If he wants to try to put some matter into his own hands here, play a little bit more aggressive, that might come back to bite him. Now, luckily, Miko is a very smart player, so I anticipate that his option is going to be to play a slower and safer game. But obviously, we will have to wait and see and get that verdict ourselves. Miko is in circle here, so he can really just hang out right on the edge of this POI, right on the edge of the map here, and just loot up, do whatever he needs to do, make sure he's comfortable with everything before he decides to make any decisions. And with Miko playing a little bit of a safer game and continuously just picking this location clean, let's switch on over to the Goats and see how they're doing early in drop number 1 here. All right, as we switch on over, again, this team composed of Brady and Parker. We see engagement here. It looks like Brady can try his best to close this out, and he does. And with that happening pretty quickly, let's use this time to switch over to pun intended. See how they're doing early in drop 1. And this team composed up of Gavin and Sean. And it looks like here that Gavin and Sean are playing a little bit more passive as well. Maybe just trying to get into a better position material and loadout wise here. So they don't want to take any unnecessary combats. And a lot of metal for them to pick clean of this place. So I would anticipate both of them are going to be able to get to max materials here. And that would set them up great, especially from what we saw last week in those mid and late games. Man, are there a lot of players left and not a lot of circle. So building, skill to building, almost a requirement in this middle to late game now, especially as we see players just continuously get better, not only as players evolve, but also as new teams and players join the league. Obviously, we had the addition of XP League, and what a shot there from Sean, as they're going to try and take this team out here. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, though. And Sean and Gavin have to make a decision here. Looks like maybe they're going to leave that third party. Didn't like they couldn't secure the kill fast enough. And try and use some of these cheesy poofs to get on out of here. This is actually an item we've seen before. At least a similar concept. We've seen it get reused a couple times. So And now these guys really have to get out of dodge here. They need to make sure they stay together. The stealth splash, that is a new item. But really here, pun intended, just playing very smart, knowing what they're capable of, while these guys continue to play. Let's check back in on our good friend Miko and see how he's doing as his solo drop. So it looks like he is hanging in there. Again, definitely playing a little bit of a safer play style this week. We know Miko and Zarek, very good players, very skilled players. So might be a little uncomfortable for what Miko has to do here, but just has to get the job done by any means at this point. We're going to see him use some of that metal, sit in a box here. And this is pretty much what I expected to see from Miko. And honestly, just really shows the awareness that Miko has. I mean, obviously, gonna try and get mats when he can. Gonna try and use his items, use his materials, use everything he can to the best of his abilities, just to play safe, to not put himself in any bad positions, not overextend by any means. Miko does have a bit of ways to go to that circle save zone, but gonna hang out. We do see some shots on the visual audio indicator, so it's gonna have to be a little aware of that. Players not too far away. Miko does see some building off in the distance there. Storm starting to move in behind him, so if he's going to rotate, he's going to try and have to rotate away from that fight. Still a lot of people left at this point, 47, 46, not counting Miko, and these circles are already starting to get small. Miko taking some damage from the storm there. Luckily, still only doing 1 damage per tick. So nothing crazy here, but obviously don't want to waste the med kit. Want to try and take as little damage as possible from that storm. So Miko's going to continue to move here. Doesn't have a movement item. Hasn't found a car, so has just had to hunker down on foot. But we see Miko do such a great job at using some natural cover here. Even though, obviously, we all know it's risky to take the low ground. Sometimes the high ground isn't the answer. Joke's on you, Obi-Wan. But it looks like here Miko going to try and build up. Although jumps right back down. I'm a little confused at the point of that decision. Maybe there was an engagement, some shots fired going on up there that he didn't like, so decided to bail out, but took a lot of stored damage. Now has to waste one of these medkits. Miko's not even at 200, so at this point, every resource is valuable, especially because as these circles start to get tiny, we could see Miko go for just a stall in the storm and try to heal as much as possible, but with only 1 medkit, you can't really stall that long. And Storm has come yet again. And now, dealing 2 damage per tick, Miko cannot afford to get stuck in this. And that is exactly what is going to happen as he gets some damage put on him and just cannot get out of dodge. Migo falls in 23rd place. And with that, let's go back on over to pun intended and see how they're doing. And getting very late into this game here. Oh no, actually, it looks like they have been eliminated as well. So let's take a quick peek in on the goats, see if they're still alive. No, it does not look like it. So ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, seems like all of our teams have fallen. Yet again. So, man, I don't really know what the issue is, but something's going on, and we're gonna have a little pre-drop interview, or not pre, because we already had one. In between drop interview. Whew. So let's get him up here in the booth. Welcome into the booth. This is your first time up here, so you're gonna have to give us a little introduction,
All right.
and then let everybody know who you are, what you do, blah blah blah.
My name's Ethan. 2 a.m. Nova. What would you like to know about me?
Yeah. So Ethan, I think first and foremost, what I want to know about you is how did your drop one go?
All right, drop one. May I?
Yeah, absolutely. Move it to wherever
Alright.
you want it.
So drop one didn't really go as planned. I don't think we are like the best, but we are definitely doing VOD reviews as of right now. I think that is kind of important to our strategy. We did make it 38th place, so we win some, you lose some.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's perfect. You can't always win every game. Ethan, I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, you guys using VOD reviews is making sure that that's a tool that you're gonna use. What does it mean not only for you but also your teammate to have a tool like that, to be able to use that kind of week in and week out and just refer back to it?
I think it's a good tool to reflect on what you've done and what your weaknesses and strengths are, right? We recognize that, like, all right, during that drop, we kind of got spotted early. So when my teammate got spotted, I noted that and I pointed it out to him, like, yeah, this kid already knew that we were going here, and that they were able to catch us off guard. And we kind of split up, but
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a good tool to reflect on your strategies.
Yeah. Ethan, I just have to say, aside from all the Fortnite talk, which of course I love to do, but you look very handsome, my good sir.
Thank you.
Dressed all fancy up here, man. I feel underdressed standing next to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just having like a formal attire is kind of like it's a routine for me.
Absolutely, it gives you a little bit of confidence too.
So I enjoy having the routine. It just focuses my mind.
Yeah.
Especially with school and everything. I don't really do it to impress anybody. I just do it for me.
And that's the best thing about it. That's the best way to do it, brother. So finally, I want to ask you a little bit about what are we hoping to see? What are you guys hoping to do drop to kind of turn things around and salvage tonight?
I'm thinking, I'm hoping to just get a higher placement. I'm not looking for anything much at the level that I'm competing and how I'm taking the game. It's not really a bother to me that I like, all right, yeah, I don't have to get a kill. Right, as long as I place higher and higher, that's good enough for me.
Absolutely. Well, Ethan, thank you so much for your time up here. Of course,
Thank you so much.
we're going to be up here rooting for you. Hopefully you guys do well, turn it around and drop two. But best of luck for that drop two. And hopefully you'll have some good news for me at the end.
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Of course. All right. And someone who's up next, no stranger to the booth. He's been up here a handful of times, probably more times than I can count. Brady, welcome into the booth. And how are you feeling after drop one?
No, not very good.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I didn't even get to see it. So I know, maybe a little traumatic at this point, but can you talk to me a little bit about the downfall, if you will, of drop one tonight?
So we had a perfect drop. We were like closest people to our drop. We were contested by 2 teams. And me and Parker go into separate houses right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's no chests, no guns in each of them. And then Parker gets killed in his house, so I run. I find a gray pistol and get shotgunned. But then we go into the next game to like practice a little more. And Parker's key to pick up items wasn't on.
Oh,
And then my game crashed before we landed.
so it sounds like the Fortnite gods are against you guys tonight. You know,
Yes.
that's great. That's great to know. Well, Brady, you and Parker are very experienced players, very, skilled, foundational, and pretty much every good word in the book, realistically, at this point. You guys know how to turn a drop around. What are you guys going to do to turn drop 2 around and make sure you perform better?
So we might not land there because
That's maybe
there
not a bad
weren't
shout.
guns.
Yeah, yeah.
Might just like stay still, only move when we need to. I mean, worked for Jack. He sat in a bush the entire game.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Just build a box,
Yep.
sit there.
Yep. And Brady, I want to ask a little bit about now. At this point, you are no stranger to updates and season changes and blah blah blah. As you are in a competitive season, and obviously we having one recently, that being all of the South Park stuff. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of dealing with the challenge of having those updates and changes come into the middle of the season, and then what you do specifically to kind of overcome those things?
I didn't even realize that there was an update until after I got back from school today. So it was a little odd. I didn't know that about the stealth grenade. That seems useless though. The new healing item, that's like the Scooby-Doo things from 2 seasons
exactly.
ago.
Yep, and I remember that. But you can like
That's
throw
a little
them now.
overpowered.
Yeah, you can like throw them, which is
The-
really interesting.
It's like 10 damage.
Oh, okay.
It's like coal.
Okay.
But the healing is very good.
Yeah.
It's 3 med kits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think it does shield. But it seems a little overpowered.
Absolutely. Well, Brady, thank you so much for your time up here. I know, obviously, drop 1 did not go the way you guys wanted to, but I have good faith. Drop 2, we're going to be up here rooting for you. I'm going to be up here watching you. So hopefully you guys perform a little better, and I'll let you get back to your teammate Parker and figure some last things out before you guys drop again.
Yeah, we're going to check our keybinds.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from Ethan. You've heard from Parker. Brady. You heard from Brady. Oh, gosh, I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, it's a bad night for me. Oh. Yeah, you heard from Ethan. You heard from Brady. 2, honestly, I would say pretty different takes. They're very different players, but 2 super experienced, super well-known players here. Just huge shouts out to both of them. Just such a level of maturity, such a level of class to come up here, especially for Brady. I really want to talk about Brady. Ethan as well, but such a level of class to come up here and talk about a struggle drop. I mean, Ethan said that they struggled. I think he said they got 38th. Obviously, Brady and Parker placed a lot worse than even 38th. So, obviously, things don't go the way you want to. Obviously, bad things can happen. I mean, the keybind thing is, that's really just the Fortnite gods against you. But put it behind you, get locked back in, and it seems like that's exactly what both of these teams are going to do. So huge shouts outs, huge ups to the GOATs and Ethan and his teammate, who I don't think we have watched. Maybe we watched last season, but we are definitely going to feature them on stream. So I would say probably tune in next week to get a little glimpse in of them. But as we continue to go here, I want to apologize for kind of the eruption that you guys heard. It's the team actually closest to the streaming booth. If any of the parents or you guys have been in here before, you kind of know where we're set up at. They got a crazy kill to win their drop. So obviously a victory royale is something that we love to see here, and we got one tonight. Now obviously we didn't see it on stream, which I know is tragic and blah blah blah. But obviously we love it either way, and they did amazingly, and those are the kinds of things that we expect to see out of these teams. You know, we expect these teams to compete at the top level, and man, are they doing it. So huge shout out to those guys. Huge shout out to all the teams we were watching tonight. And hopefully our teams can turn it around for their drop number 2, lock back in, and perform a little better. Also, I always apologize for this, but I also want to apologize just in case there's any long delay time in between drops where you guys are just looking at me standing up here yapping. Obviously, I have no control. We have no control here over drops and drop codes and when things start and blah, blah, blah. So, as much as we try to do our best, as much as I try to do my best to kind of fill some time and stand up here and talk to you guys and make it somewhat entertaining and engaging content, obviously there's only so much I can do, and I completely understand. I am not the prettiest fella, so I would say right now is a great time. Go to the bathroom, get some grub. God, I'm so hungry. I can't even tell you guys. Get a little drink. Do whatever it is you need to do, but do not miss Fortnite action. Drop codes are getting posted, so I would suspect we will be dropping in another 5-ish minutes, maybe. So stay tuned. Hang in there. I promise we will be back with Fortnite action momentarily. Just huge, huge shouts outs. And man, really, what I should be talking about is ESC. Wow, we are getting close. I say that, but we're still about 6 months away. But it's going to be here before you know it. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you do not know anything about ESC, that is the national event that is going to be put on by the lovely people at VHEL and the lovely people at XP League in collaboration. Obviously, VHEL now owns XP League, so but whatever. In collaboration to put on a national tournament for all of the teams that compete in this lovely league that we call the VHEL. So keep your eyes and ears and everything tuned in as I get more details, more updates get published, and things happen. Obviously, I will let you guys know. Obviously, I will do my best to communicate that. And all of these Fortnite teams, not all of them, excuse me, I shouldn't say all of them. But actually, I can say all of them. All of these Fortnite teams are in contention to go to Florida. Obviously, our Division 1 teams have the best odds. All they have to do is qualify by either winning the spring season coming up here in probably about 2-ish months, give or take, or winning an qualifier event, which I don't think they've had one for Fortnite yet, or if they can qualify via power rankings, which you can check anytime. I believe nationals.gg. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on that. But for all of the other teams that are not in Division 1, they also can make power rankings. But there's also a arena-only Fortnite drop that will be going on there, tournament. So any team, even a team that does not qualify normally, still has a chance to go to get selected to go by Coach Kyle and Coach Andrew and compete and represent not only Valhalla, not only their local area, but our arena specifically, all of their peers as a brand and play in that drop. And it looks like Division 1 drop is just a few minutes away, 3 to be exact. So as we continue to stay tuned in here. Of course, as soon as the drop starts, we will switch on over for you. And I know that our primary team is the famous people tonight, but for drop number 2, we're going to start with the GOATs just because how quickly they got eliminated in drop 1. We did not get to see any of their gameplay in drop 1. So we're going to start with GOATs, which is Brady and Parker, and then we will bounce around. So if you haven't already, do your last minute things, do whatever it is you need to do. Oh, excuse me. To make sure that you are ready to go. This Fortnite build action is almost back. Ooh. And I will say, I don't know what's going on, but spirits are high in here tonight. You know, there's a lot of energy. You know, me personally, I would have thought kids are back in school. You know, maybe the energy wouldn't be there. Obviously, having some long breaks between the Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's and all those fun festive holidays that happen around this time. But no, a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy, and it's great. It's just great to see. It's great to be able to be up here and observe and be able to speak with some of the students as well. So we are minutes away, hopefully seconds away. But we are very, very close to seeing these teams go at it yet again. In case you are just now tuning in, the 3 teams that we are watching tonight is the famous people. That team is composed up of Miko and Zarek. Zarek, unfortunately, not here with us tonight, so Miko playing by himself. Our secondary team is the GOATs, and that team is Brady, aka BL Mace, and Parker, aka VHCH06. That is actually going to be the team that we watch first this drop because how quickly they got eliminated in drop 1. We got 0 watch time for them, so we're going to start with them. And our third team, last but most certainly not least, we have Unintended. That team is composed of Gavin, aka Novel Movie, and Sean, aka Sean Time TV. So, before we start here, I want to give off all of the good vibes, all of the positive energy, all of anything and everything that I can from the booth up here, all of the good luck, because these guys need to turn it around, need to continue to play well, because even if winning the season doesn't grant you birth to ESC, it still has good chance to move you up in power rankings, make you a better player, and perform better as the spring season starts. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are in. So, let's switch on over and tune in to the GOATs as they are dropping for Division 1, drop number 2. All right, and now we did hear Brady. Oh my gosh, how tired am I? We did hear Brady say that they would probably not go to the same spot. But I would anticipate that that is the case. So it looks like these guys are going to go potentially here to the edge of the map, maybe to a gas station or something, right over Humble Hills. Actually, it's not a gas station, it's a mansion. But Parker does take a bullet in the air, so him and Brady definitely going to have to be aware of that as these guys try and rotate in. And I can get confirmation that Parker's pickup button is bound this time. So these guys are already doing better than they did in drop number 1. really important for this team to do well tonight. And realistically, this is a team that has my personal vote to qualify for ESE, whether it's as a duo or both of the players individually. Parker and Brady, both such solid players. I would expect that these guys have long careers ahead of them if that is the path that they decide to take, whether it's professional players, whether it's casual playing, whether it's as a coach, whether it's pursuing a degree and doing something in college. No matter what it is, I think these guys are going to succeed if they decide to stay in the esports industry. And we're going to see Parker pick up a wingsuit here. Let's take a quick peek on into Brady's screen, as Brady also has one, and these loadouts much better. These guys maybe not ideally where they want to be, but have to be quite a bit more comfortable with how they are feeling, how they are playing in this drop number 2 so far. Ooh. These guys really just playing smart here, really taking their time, trying to farm a bunch of materials. So while these guys continue to play safe here, let's tune in to pun intended and see how they're doing in their drop. Looks like their drop still pretty early on here, but loadouts in a very comfortable position. And it looks like these guys also just going to tear the building that they landed at apart. Going to try and get as many mats as possible. Materials, especially this season, especially with the skill curve that we've seen that has happened this season with the addition of all of the XP League players. Man, is this league a lot better. And materials are much more important. You have to be a solid builder to do well. And it's a good thing for us here at Valhalla Camp Hills that all of our players are solid builders. So now, as these guys drive around, survey the map, let's tune into our solo player tonight of Miko of the Famous People. See how he is doing so far. Never mind, Miko is not sharing his screen, so don't know what happened there. But we will just hang out and continue to watch unintended for another minute or two before we switch on back to the GOATs. And while they pick this gas station apart, I think this is the perfect time to switch on over to the goats. All right, then looks like it was the perfect time indeed, because the goats in an engagement here, as Brady gonna take the initiative here, gonna play a little bit more aggressive, as we do see a shockwave out. Can they find a kill? What a bounce pad placement there. No, can't find a kill. And now potentially a third party coming in, as Brady takes a lot of damage here. Does land on the SERP truck, but Parker hasn't joined him yet. And looks like Parker gets there just in time as Brady breaks it. And these guys taking some damage to the storm here. Luckily, still only one take, but Brady runs into a big shotgun shot. I don't even think he realized. And they fall in 33rd place. So we will go back to pun intended for the rest of the stream. That's pun intended is our last team alive for this drop too. At least I assume so. Don't have a definite on Miko just because he's not sharing his screen anymore. That's okay. Actually, I do have confirmation he is not alive anymore. So, yes, indeed, just pun intended left. Only 36 people left in this drop, 34 not counting pun intended. So, these guys sitting in a pretty good position here. Because it looks like they're going to knock a player here. Actually, find an elim on a player. I thought that was a bot. I'm going to keep it a buck. As Gavin just jumps right into his face, and they find the kill. Now have to use some time, have to use some of these resources to get themselves back in a solid position here. Both of them, well, at least Gavin back to 200. I think Sean will be right there as well. Oh, it looks like Sean's just a little short. And try and get some of those materials back that they used in that fight. And just like that, it feels like 30 seconds ago I said there was 36 players left, and now there's 27 left. So definitely some combat going on. It also looks like these guys are having a little bit of fun, messing around a little bit, which of course is always nice to see. At the end of the day, the most important part about competition is that it's fun. You have fun playing the game. And pun intended here, just right on the edge of that circle, so just have so much time. And they have a car obviously right in front of them. Really just so many decisions left. As these guys are gonna stroll on into Humble Hills. Maybe look for an engagement. It doesn't look like there's any players, although we do see some shots on the visual audio indicator. Looks like they're gonna try and switch cars here, as this one is full gas and full health. And there are a lot of players around them at this point. Try to get a kill there with the car. Don't make a decision to get out, but yet they do. And could have been a really dirty shot there from Sean, but a little unfortunately he missed it. So it looks like these guys are going to try to get their position back on top of the mountain here. Someone still is in that build there, so Sean trying to build a little base for them here. And yet again, Sean has just a free shot lined up and unfortunately can't hit it. And Gavin is going to get knocked, and the third party is a lurking. Sean going to try and use the wingsuit to get out of here. Does take quite a bit of damage. Luckily, is pretty elusive with that wingsuit, though. Really doesn't get that far. Oh, sorry. Now really has to make a decision here. And it looks like he's going to buy the reboot card back. And is going to reboot his teammate. And while obviously it's always better to have your teammate back, Gavin really not going to have a lot of loot. So he's going to have to try to do his best to loot up pretty quick here to be able to get back in a position where he can support Sean. We are starting to get into this late game, and it looks like they are getting pressed. Sean takes a lot of damage there, down to 34 green health, managing to keep himself alive. A lot of build going on here. Gavin has come back, and Gavin actually finds a kill on one of them, although Sean does a lot of damage but can't find the elim, and Gavin just falls a little short as well. 40 health left. So unlucky for those guys. But a 12th place finish is always very solid. And ladies and gentlemen, obviously didn't go the way that things wanted it to. Didn't go the way players wanted it to. But huge shout out to everybody, how they performed tonight. And we're going to get a couple post-drop interviews here. And it looks like our first one is going to be with a player we just finished watching. Gavin, welcome into the booth. How are you feeling after your drops tonight?
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gavin, we saw quite a bit of drop number one, also quite a bit of drop number two. And now drop number two, right there at the very end, you spawn back in. Sean's getting pressed. What's going through your mind as you're dropping back into the map?
Like, is he one tap? Is he anything? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Gavin, can you talk to me a little bit about some of the comms that you and Sean were doing tonight, just to continue to improve and to allow you guys to play to the best of your abilities?
I don't know. Farming mats.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Gavin, I want to ask, materials specifically a huge part of this season, and realistically a huge part of the competitive season now, as we've seen players get so much better with the addition of XP League. Can you talk to me a little bit about how it feels knowing that you're playing against better players and that you're still holding in there. I mean, placing 12th is not bad by any means. So can you talk to me about what it feels like to know you're playing better players, but also know that you are better as a player?
Playing the best out of my abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Go, Gavin. Thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations. Obviously not huge, great drops tonight, but not bad drops by any means. So congratulations on those. And of course, we're going to be up here rooting for you guys. So thank you so much for your time. All right. And that was Gavin. No pun intended. So huge shout out to those guys. And now I'm going to get talked to his teammate, Sean. Sean, welcome into the booth. Feel free to move the microphone up if you need to. And how are you feeling after your drops tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I asked Gavin the same question. I want to get your perspective of it. Drop number 2. Gavin gets eliminated. You get out with the wingsuit. You're able to get the reboot off, and then you guys are instantly getting pressed. What's going through your mind as Gavin's falling back into the map and you're trying your best to survive?
I don't know, just like a lot of stuff just going through my head. Like, I need to reboot him. I need to keep him alive. I need to give him heals. Make sure he doesn't, like, die again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys had 2 pretty solid drops here. Not great drops by any means, but not terrible drops by any means either. So can you talk to me a little bit about the things that you and Gavin have done since partnered up to kind of allow you guys to play to the best of your abilities?
Probably, like, bonding with each other to to know each other, to, like, learn our strengths and weaknesses so that we can improve on that, like, tell each other that we can do this better or something like that.
And can you talk to me a little bit about how important that chemistry and that knowledge is of your teammate when you are in a competitive situation like you are here?
I mean, if you hate the person, you're probably not gonna want to cooperate.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's a fair point. You and Gavin obviously doing your best, which we heard Gavin say you guys performing your best. So, Sean, finally, I want to talk a little bit about you guys performing pretty consistently over the season. What does it mean to you to know that you guys are playing people that are better than you, but you're also still performing very well?
I think it's pretty good. It shows our growth and how far we've come from the beginning.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, congratulations on some nice drops tonight. Obviously, not over by any means. And, of course, we're going to continue to be up here to watch you guys and to root for you. So thank you so much for your time and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, and it looks like I have, so I'm going to try my best to pronounce. Is it Lucian?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like I have Lucian up here with me. Lucian, welcome to your first time ever in the booth. And how are you feeling after your drops tonight?
I'm feeling really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't know the updates of or scores of both your drops. I know one of them you guys got 12th place. So, can you talk to me a little bit about a 12th place finish and what you guys really did to come together to place like that?
So like we landed at this place and like got lots of materials, looted up a lot.
Yeah.
And then we tried to get some kills, stay till end game.
Absolutely. And Lucian, now you feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe this is your first season with the Monday night players. So
Yeah.
obviously things are a little different on Monday night. Can you talk to me about not only some of the expectations and some of the pressure, but also some of the differences you've seen and you've enjoyed coming into Monday night and experiencing such a high level of competition?
Yeah, like they were pretty good, but yeah, it was pretty good though.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Lucian, I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, it's your first season here on Monday nights. You guys have a lot of growth. You, as a player, obviously have a lot of growth, a lot of improving to do. What are you hoping to improve on throughout the rest of this winter season here?
Probably like just like thinking what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That just game awareness is always something
Yeah.
crucial. So, Lucian, congratulations on some big drops tonight. Thank you so much for your time up here. And, of course, hopefully we'll have you back up here in the near future. So, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and I think I'm going to get his teammate up here, which, if I can see my board, I think his name is Liam. That's correct, yes. His teammate Liam is going to join me in the booth. Liam, welcome up to the booth. This is your first time up here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling after your guys' drops tonight?
Feeling good.
Absolutely. I think that's very important. So, Liam, I asked Lucian the same question. I want to talk to you a little bit about it. This is your first season with us on Monday nights. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the good things, but also some of the bad things you've experienced since switching to this more competitive play style?
There's a lot more competitive players,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's good having good teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you and Lucian have grown quite a bit. I mean, just the first few weeks that you've been here, right? The first few weeks since you've come on over to Mondays. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you plan to do to improve as a player, but also what you and Lucian plan to do to improve as a team?
Well, I'm not sure of what we're going to do as a team, but I was hoping to learn how to play on mouse and computer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
a little mouse and keyboard action.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's a great goal. I think luckily you're one of the lucky players here, and by you I mean everybody here. It's great to have such a great coach and Coach Kyle that would be honored and thrilled to teach you that. I'm sure he's going to love that answer. So, well, Liam, thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations on your drops tonight, and hopefully here in the near future we'll have you back up here and get to talk to you a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and it looks like next I'm going to have Easton join me in the booth. A lot of interviews tonight, y'all. Hope you stay tuned. Easton, welcome into the booth. This is your first time ever in the booth, and you guys performed amazingly tonight. So how are you feeling after your drops?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I heard after it happened, but also from the updates I got, a third place and a victory royale. So can you talk to me a little bit about, in the moment, what that victory royale meant for you and your teammate?
A closer chance to qualifying for ESC.
Absolutely. And you know what, Easton? I'm so happy you brought that up. ESC is something that is looming over all of us, right? Can you talk to me a little bit about not only the pressure, but also the motivation that ESC has put on you guys?
Maybe just a chance to get to Florida and qualify into a big tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And Easton, can you talk to me a little bit about what it would mean to you to play in a tournament like that and get to experience
It would mean a lot.
something like that? Absolutely. Well, Easton, finally here, I want to talk a little bit about your guys' growth. You guys have continued to grow. Now, obviously, something is working, getting a victory royale and a third place tonight. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you guys are going to continue to do, though, to make sure that these results aren't just a luck thing, that they are consistently, and this is where you guys want to be?
We're just gonna try to continue to keep on getting higher places and more kills.
Absolutely. Well, Easton, thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations on great drops. Congratulations on a win. That is not easy by any means, so huge congratulations on that. And of course, we're going to be up here rooting for you, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. And that is going to be it. Maybe I could just get the final, arguably the most important interview of the night. Good old Coach Kyle, the go-to Fortnite coaches, as he makes his way up into the booth. I know we heard that.
What's up, Coach Christian? How you
What
doing,
is
man?
going on, Coach Kyle? How
Dude.
are you feeling tonight?
It's a fantastic night tonight.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean,
I loved it.
absolutely.
That's really good.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
a
stoked, man.
victory royale tonight.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
victory
that's
royale
massive.
and multiple top 10 finishes
Yes.
across teams in the arena.
Yes.
So cinema.
Mhm.
I'm happy. I'm
Absolutely.
stoked, man. I'm stoked.
I want to talk a little bit about a team that I did actually get to watch quite a bit. The Goats.
Yes.
Parker and Brady.
Yeah.
Struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
Drop one.
Yeah.
Struggled not as much. Drop two. Turn it around a bit, but
Yeah.
still
You know.
struggled a little bit maybe. So,
So
can you talk to me about just, kind of the battle that those guys are facing?
sure. So you and I both know that a lot of times the big things are actually a lot of little things in disguise.
Yes.
Right? And one of the things that I tell the kids constantly, I'm like, hey guys, right before match, I need you to check your settings. Please make sure that your settings are checked, right? Because if they're not, then anything can happen.
Tragic things might happen.
Right. Like, for example, dropping just into a Division 1 match and not having your bind button bound or your
Can't
pickup
pick up
button
items.
bound.
Can't
And
pick up
so you
items.
can't pick up items, and you spend the first 2 minutes frantically trying to pick up items, and then the team drops on you and kills you. And it's like, well,
Yep.
that's a little thing that suddenly
Turns into a big
in that
thing.
moment becomes a big thing.
Yep.
And that's what happened this evening. It's really a good reminder, a stark reminder, that you got to have those little things kind of tightened up
Yep.
in order for it to matter and in order for it to be good. So
And I think that not only is it a test to what you just said, but also an attest to how key the fundamentals are. And I mean, Parker and Brady, both very solid players.
Oh, yeah.
Both very skilled
yeah.
and very fundamentally sound players.
Correct.
And to make a mistake like that is heartbreaking.
Well, and here's the thing, right? We had this conversation, you and I, before drops, and I had a long conversation with the entire squad, the entire team. Because this season is different than every season we have played before then.
Absolutely.
It is. Like, the competition is so much more fierce.
Absolutely.
They're so much more skilled. There are so many more of them that we cannot afford to play the way that we've been playing before,
Yep.
right? This is not, there's a great quote when I was in college. I used to work at a place that like did drones and VR and all kinds of stuff. And on the wall was a poster that just says "Adapt or Die." And
to put it bluntly, but yeah.
and it's harsh, but it's like the things that worked for us in previous seasons are not going to work for us in the ways they've worked for us
Yes.
in this new world that we live in, that we find ourselves in, right? And so we had a really long conversation, myself and the entire team, about what kind of skills we're looking for and what it takes and the level of communication you need to be at and the level of dedication that you need to be at in order for this to work. And I'll be honest, I genuinely think that conversation tonight worked because what we saw was a team that was more consistent across the board, more communicative across the board, more willing to focus, especially on the little things across the board, and all of that really did matter.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that I came in and I'm like, all right, these are the 4 things that we did wrong last week. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I'm expecting from you in general as an arena. Like, these are the overarching strategies that everyone needs to employ. These are the things we need to tighten up. This is what you did well. And if you are serious about winning this season, about being competitive this season, you need to do those things.
Yep.
And I think that actually Eli was like, Coach, your speech is like inspiring, but also low key not. And I was like, and I looked at him, I literally like, Eli, because it was exactly what you needed to hear.
Yep.
Right. Again, like, there's only so much that you and I and Coach Jonathan and Coach Andrew can do in a given day. Eventually, at the end of the day, it's in the hands of the kids. But like, if we don't have those conversations now, those tough conversations, I'll hang this up. I'm not a coach at that point. At that point, you know what I mean? They have supporters, they have cheerleaders. That's great. That's not my job. And I'll be honest. I think the tough conversations that were had tonight are helpful. And I think, like, I guarantee you, Parker will never forget to check his settings at the beginning of every match. Sorry to bring that back to a long answer to a short question. But
and obviously, you guys, I think, obviously the stream didn't see any of this or anything, but I want to say I think that this was the longest prep night before drop.
Yes.
Or at least it seemed like it.
Yes.
At least from my perspective. So, can you talk to me a little bit about not only the work and dedication that you put into the prep like this, but also what it means to these players that they have a coach that is there supporting them and that is willing to put in that work and dedication.
Well, I'm gonna give them a compliment. What does it mean for a coach to have kids who take that prep seriously, right? You could be the best coach in the world, but like, if it doesn't resonate with the players and they don't take that message to heart and they don't do it, that means nothing, right? So I'm gonna, I guess, kind of flip the compliment onto them, because truly, like, what tonight was that tough conversation, right? What we're doing is not working. I think we literally came into the end of last week and I was like, that was brutal. And we were all like, that was brutal. And again, it's adapt or die. And so we have to have a tough conversation, right? Whether that's about mindset, about how we approach the game from a macro level, about how we're doing things at a player level. I don't know if you guys heard me in comms with Eli and Lachlan, but there was one time where I'm like, Eli, you need to relax. Like, this is one of those times where you need to take a second. And Eli was like, dude, I'm gonna chill. I have seconds. I have time. And I've never heard him do that before.
Yeah.
Or for Easton and Cohen, who obviously took a victory royale. For Cohen especially, to play as assertively as he did shows me a lot of growth. Gavin and Sean, to watch them play methodically and to coordinate together the way they did. Jack, who is used to being able to frag out, his partner was sick tonight, for him to be like, coach, I am going to play as passively as humanly possible, and I am going to put myself in the top 10 every single time if I can. And sure enough, he was in top 10 the first time around, and I believe he was in top 10. I think it was like 12. If he wasn't, it was like 12 or 13 or something like that. Just barely missed the top 10 as a solo in the toughest division in the game.
Absolutely.
Right? So, like, again, it means a lot to have a coach who has the tough conversations. It means a lot more, I think, to have players who take the tough conversations to heart and then make it a part of their game plan.
Absolutely.
And that's what I saw tonight. I'm unbelievably stoked for next week. As tough as it is, and as hard as this division has been, this tonight felt like proof positive that what you and I both know about our kids is true, and that they will rise to the occasion no matter what. They'll grow and they'll change and they will adapt. And then, some other coach gets to have the tough conversation because they're like, Valhalla Hill is just slaughtering us, right? And somebody else gets to have that tough conversation because our kids took that to heart and they took the feedback and they did it. And that's really the thing. It's like, it's a running dialogue. I'm here to make them improve. They're here to make me improve. And together we all get a little better. At least I hope. That's
the idea.
Yeah, Ethan and I were joking. Ethan was like, "Oh yeah, it's something about like, oh, everyone's so much better." I'm like, dude, as long as you are better than you from the previous day, we're good.
Exactly.
I was like, that's all I care about, dude. Your only enemy is you. Your only goal is being better than the person you were yesterday. So, and that felt like it was today. So I felt it feels really good. It felt really good. So.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Al, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations on not only some great jobs, but some great kids.
And,
victory royale.
The best team.
That goes.
The best team, including the one who's like crashing out in the background. But that's all right. Hey, thank you again, Coach.
Thank you. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it from us here at Valhalla and Camp Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. Stay tuned. We have some very cool updates coming to the stream, actually. I know, shocker. But keep an eye out on that. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything. I want to wait for those things to happen. So tune in on Thursday, where yet again myself will be up here casting some lovely Valorant. And until then, for myself and everybody here at Valhalla and Camp Hill, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.